Hey guys, what's happening? It's Cody. Welcome back to another episode of the Spiritual Growth Sessions. If you like this episode, be sure to share it, subscribe, thumbs up, leave a comment, all that good stuff. So I want to talk a little bit about how I'm turning 40 in 2 days. September 15th, no, I guess, 2 days, September 15th, I'm turning 40. And I've learned a lot in my life up to coming into this next leg of my journey. And I've been thinking a lot about what have I learned? What are the things that I've learned and I've grown and I've understood that have changed my life? And I keep coming back to this one thing that has really completely changed how I view life and how I view happiness and how I view living a life that you can love. And the big change and realization is that happiness will not and does not ever come from external circumstances, external forms, external things. Happiness in a temporary form can show through those things. So the purchase of the new house, the college degree, the promotion at work, the new car, all of those things are great. The vacation, all those things are rad. Like, good on people for getting it. I'm going to try to do all of those things. Like, those are, great things to have. But the thing about it is, if you base your happiness, and I'm talking about lasting happiness, like a sense of being complete, a sense of wholeness, those things will never work. That's not how it works. The only way that lasting happiness works is if you find yourself truthfully. It's an inside job. You've heard it before. It is a fact. The biggest lie that we are told growing up is the attainment of things is what will bring us happiness. But you know what happens? The new thing wears off and you're on to the next thing. The house gets dirty. The house, you settle into it. It's not as great as it used to be. The new car, it all of a sudden just becomes a car that you have. All of that stuff wears off and you search for the next fix. And you never get it because you're searching for the fix of pure happiness and contentment with life in the wrong areas. What you need to be doing is searching for happiness and contentment inside of who you are. And that means embracing who you are. That means trying to love who you are. That means coming back to the present moment and breathing and feeling comfort and connected to spirit or connected to the universe or connected to nature. And it's not about keeping up with other people, keeping up with the Joneses, doing all of these things that you probably a lot of times don't even want, right? A lot of times we're doing things, or we graduate from college with a degree in something we don't even want to do. And then we're stuck in a job that we don't want to do, and we never find happiness. And how sad is that? It's because people aren't doing what's good for them. They aren't searching for a happiness that lasts. They don't understand that all of that stuff, all that external shit that they're reaching for is never going to fulfill them completely. It will be fun. Those things are great. You can have a really good time with a lot of those things, but it wears off. Where you find contentment and peace is to do the work of inside of yourself, of accepting yourself for who you are, letting yourself be who your soul is calling you out to be, doing the thing that you always wanted to do, but you never allowed yourself to do it because you didn't believe you were worthy. Finding the traumas and working through the traumas and reparenting and working on the inner child, like all of these things is where real happiness is. All you're doing is masking those areas of those problem areas, or the areas they're not dealing with a quick fix, or maybe what will be a little bit of a longer fix, but it'll never, ever work for you. You might say, well, I know lots of people who are happy and they do those things and they have those things. And there probably are lots of people who are happy with it, but those people are also probably pretty damn happy with who they are, right? But so many people don't do both. So many people just do the external factors that try to make them happy. And they live their whole lives like that because it's pumped into us, right? Get this new shoe, get this new phone, get this new car, get this. You'll be living in the lap of luxury. You'll have made it if you get this. And so we constantly think the next thing is going to bring us happiness that will last. But of course, it's a lie. It's false. That's not how it works. Otherwise, you would get the thing and then you would be happy. And you wouldn't search for the next thing to try to make you happy. If you got the new house and you feel like you've made it, then ask yourself, do you feel content? Does your life feel whole? And most of the time, the answer will be no, because you haven't done, or we haven't done, the work inside. I never did the work inside. I never focused on myself. I was definitely one of those people who always looked for external things to make me happy. If I get the promotion, then I'll be happy. People will think better of me if I get the promotion. Oh, I have this job title now. People will think more of me. Oh, I'm married now. I have children. I've made it. Or, oh, I got a new car. Look at this new car. I've made it. None of that shit matters, dude. None of that shit matters. It's not going to make you permanently happy. It's not going to work. You need to find a way to embrace who you are wholly. And then once you have that, those material things can be a part of the joy of your life, but you don't have attachment to them. You know that they aren't going to bring you happiness. Like for me, after my spiritual awakening, it's so obvious. Like to me, I just can't believe I was living in this dream of thinking that consumerism and purchasing and keeping up with the Joneses and doing things I didn't even want to do just because I worried about how people would think about me. I didn't know that stuff wasn't going to make me happy. I was always jumping to the next thing, needing to be whole. And I thought that's how it worked. I thought that's how you got happy. You had moments of happiness, then you got back down, and you had moments of happiness, and you got back down, because I never did the internal work. And I'm still doing it. It's hard as shit, but it's the most amazing transformation, because you start losing the attachment to things, because you realize they're just fleeting. They're just things. What's always there and what always will be there while you're alive is you and your presence and your happiness. And, so many of us live such difficult lives, and so many of us have been through such hard things that it's scary to go inward and to look at yourself and figure out what your soul is really saying to you, how you can make yourself heal, how you can move past the traumas. It's scary stuff, right? But the problem with it is if you keep avoiding those things, you start going for external, it just masks it for a short amount of time, but it still comes back. You're still going to be unhappy in ways that you can't really describe. You're still going to not feel fulfilled, and you're not really going to know why. Because it's not taught to us. Because people will lose a lot of money, obviously, if it's taught to us. The way that you find the happiness is through yourself. So, for me, it's like I used to worry so much about like what people thought of me. Like I always felt like I was behind. I'm kind of like this late bloomer. Like I was always doing shit a little bit later than the people that I was surrounding myself with. And I would feel intimidated to go hang out with them. Like I was a server in a restaurant for, through my 20s, and didn't become my manager at a position until 31. But anyways, none of that stuff matters. My point is, everything that I did, I was always worrying about what people thought. And when I would get a new car, I was stoked to show it off to new people because I had finally made it, right? But then the car gets a dent in it. And then the car gets dirty, and then you get kids in the car, and the car is not the same thing that it used to be, right? So now you start thinking about something else. Now I still have those urges and those times when I really want to, I want to purchase something, or it's going to bring me happiness. I want to go fucking, buy some shit. But now I understand that it's just going to mask it. It's going to be a temporary fix, and it doesn't feel as worth it. Not even close to it. Sometimes it doesn't feel worth it at all. I now understand that when I feel this emptiness and I feel this need for something more, it's because inside I'm not full. I'm not healed. I'm not happy. And that's where the real work comes in. And once you start doing that real work, the ego starts going away a little bit. You start caring so much about what people think about you. You start realizing this is your life. You run your life at your pace. You do things when you are ready to do them. And it's not a life competition of who's going more and who's going more and who's going more, because that shit is a recipe for suffering and disaster. If you can take one thing from this, understand one thing: the constant buying and needing and class system that we have, and, purchasing and all of those things are fine. Do those things. But if you don't do the inner work, they're never going to do anything for you. They should be a complement to your internal happiness. Find your peace, find your sense of being, live your purpose, get these amazing things, and it's like a cherry on top, right? But the whipped cream and the ice cream and all that other shit that's below the cherry, that's the inner work. That's you. That's coming to accept who you are. And there's lots of ways to do it. Coming back to the present moment, working on trauma bonds, reparenting. There's lots of things that you can do. And it's scary. And I get that. But it's worth it. It's worth it because you find peace and you realize that you were searching in the wrong places all along. So anyways, that was the one thing that's really been sticking with me, is I just was so blind to how wrong that is and how much it just permeates our society, that happiness will come through external factors. And it's a lie. It's not true. It's not true. So anyways, if you think this will help somebody, please share it. Hope everyone has a great week, and I will see you next Sunday. Peace.